Okay, back at it here on a Wednesday, everybody. Glad you're with us. It is Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light, and you see him there in the box. It is Barry McKnight. Been away for a couple of 3 days, but we are so glad he is back, and I believe in Oklahoma City. And I normally at this point would say at a Holiday Inn Express, but I do believe the NCAA ramps it up in terms of hotel and travel when you make the tournament.
Well, yeah, we are in a Renaissance Hotel in downtown Oklahoma City as Troy gets ready to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning. I think we got the first game of the day. Let's see, 11:15. It's Ohio State and TCU. And then we're on at 11:40 tomorrow morning on True TV. And, of course, I've got the radio broadcast with Jerry Miller right here. You're right. They do it upright. Now, this is how it works. Late Monday, we got word from the NCAA that, hey, guys, congratulations. Thanks for being in the NCAA tournament. Congratulations on a great season. You are flying out at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning from MGM.
Woo.
Oh, okay. So, scrambling around, a little bit, not bad, but, making sure everything's packed and everything's ready and, planning on staying here for the whole duration and all that. And then, man, you get on, it's a charter flight out of MGM, which is nice. I recommend those. We had a police escort from the airport to our hotel.
Nice.
And
Nick
we had
Saban wasn't in your traveling party? Wow, that's amazing.
We had a police escort to practice yesterday at Oklahoma Christian University. And right after the show concludes today, we're going to have a police escort taking us to the arena here in Oklahoma City for the big media day and the practice today before we get underway. It's exciting.
And that's where the Thunder play.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
wow.
Haven't seen it yet. I've been through Oklahoma City before. Troy football has played at Stillwater a couple of times. So I've been through, never stopped in Oklahoma City. And, of course, when we played Oklahoma State before, that arena wasn't there. So I'm looking forward to today for sure. And looking forward to tomorrow. Some people picking Troy in the brackets.
Well, hey, Barry, they're a 12.5-point underdog to Nebraska. I'm not overly impressed with this Cornhusker team because I know you've been away for a couple of days, but the Phantom did have the Cornhuskers as a daily dog in the Big Ten tournament Friday.
Right.
One of his, more lopsided defeats against Purdue. So Nebraska did not show me much in that game. We got stung last night too. More on that later. Boy, it was close to a rattler at the horn. Anyway, but hey, we won Monday night. We'll tell you about that later. So I wasn't overly impressed with Nebraska. I will say this, Bear. I think I texted you this. I was in the car, and it was one of these deals. I got to my location, but I sat in the car to listen to the entire remainder of the interview that I was listening to with Troy head coach Scott Cross. He was on Sirius College Sports Radio. I can't tell you who the hosts were. They weren't as good as Coach Cross. I didn't really listen to what they were saying. I was listening more to what he was saying. But as I listened, Barry, it was a quiet confidence. It wasn't anything cocky about it. It wasn't anything boasting about it. But just the things that he was saying, I thought, this guy feels pretty good about his team.
Yep, and it is one of several interviews. I mean, it's been funny over the last 3 days. He's been inundated by them and feels confident. It's funny when you notice this. This is Troy's 4th appearance in an NCAA tournament, NCAA Division I tournament, and I've been there for all 4. And this is the one I think Troy matches up the best. Troy is their highest seed ever. They're 0-3 in NCAA tournament play. Nebraska, John, is 0-8.
Yes,
in NCAA tournament play. Neither team has ever won an NCAA tournament game.
Troy had not won yet. I didn't want to kind of rain on the parade, but since you
you.
did, which opened up the floodgates, so I can. I heard that too. Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament. I didn't know they were 0-8.
Yes.
So I'd heard they had never won an NCAA game. I did know Troy had not won either. So somebody's got to win tomorrow. Certainly, Troy, their coach certainly feels confident that they've got a good shot, even though they're a 12.5-point favorite. Maybe a little too many. More on that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. It's interesting because, in the same little pod as Troy, of course, Nebraska, the winner of Troy, Nebraska would play the winner of Vanderbilt versus McNeese. Haven't taken a look at any of my texts from Gurn Senior, but this Vanderbilt team against McNeese, they'll play later on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm guilty of looking ahead just a little bit, but it's going to be a big challenge for sure against Nebraska. Now, also, we've already gotten a couple of
question real quick before we move on. This one, Ty hit us with a question early today.
No,
and
this
Ty,
is he's got a couple of them.
Yeah, we have the answer for you. Ty says that he does not recognize the show title, which are usually music-based, music-themed. Barry, I'm told it's a Roger Allen Wade song that he wrote for Johnny Knoxville. Ty, look, man, we're digging deep here on this program. We're not giving you air supply and making love out of nothing at all. We're giving you stuff you got to think about.
Man, so John Parker Wilson wrote this? Wait a minute. For anybody named Knoxville, what is John Parker Wilson doing right now? No, Roger Allen Wade. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's an Alabama quarterback name if I've ever heard of. He also asked another question. He's full of questions today. He says, does the NCAA pay any portion of the travel bill, Barry? Man, they pay all of it. Every bit of it.
How do you think they're staying in a Renaissance? Come on, man.
That's exactly right. I mean, it is first class. We didn't pay for the whole. I mean, it's a charter flight. Super nice hotel.
It wasn't Spirit, was it? You didn't get a charter on Spirit, did you? Oh, good.
No, but it was out of MGM, which is always so convenient. I can't say enough about it. But as well, quite honestly, they should. I mean, they make a boatload of money out of this. I mean, a ton out of this. Now, the other question.
Troy went to Milwaukee. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, last year.
Very well done. Nice hotels, food, travel, the whole deal. Yeah,
they do very nice. And it should. I mean, they're making billions of dollars or something like that. This from Chris the Bammer. Of course, he's asking, who do the Aubs play next?
Barry, I've never heard of Seattle. I mean, I know where the city is.
Well, yeah, they play they host Seattle. The only thing I know about Seattle is that NBA Hall of Famer Elgin Baylor, who played like before Jerry West or with Jerry West and before Kareem and before Magic. I mean, he was he played at Seattle University. Here's why he asks is because Auburn won last night in the NIT.
Yeah, they did, Barry.
They did not roll Toomer's Corner.
Well, I can see why, because maybe 4,000 people showed up for the game last night. I mean, there were rumors out there that it was a sellout, which really, where you get that info from? But I waited to see with my own two eyes. I mean, I've seen women's games with more people, but
that, by the way, is a criticism from John. In case he's like, "Whoa, this is like a girls' game." That's John criticizing.
So I'm a little disappointed that the family didn't show up in full support, but they didn't need him. Neither did Keyshawn Murphy, for that matter. He didn't need him either.
What is going on with people? And now, I've been traveling. I've been around a little bit. This is the postseason. This is your team. These are your boys. These are the ones that you've ridden with all season long. Keyshawn didn't show up for practice.
Wow.
Didn't tell him he wasn't showing up for practice. I don't think Keyshawn is interested in playing anymore. He ain't interested in hurting his draft stock or having an injury or anything like that, playing in an NIT game against South Alabama. He just didn't tell anybody, but I think he's out of here. Aiden Holloway, 2.1 pounds of marijuana. I like a lot of people out there. I had a lot of questions about him getting arrested, and, he is not participating in team activities right now for Alabama. The basketball
or school activities either.
Well, some of the activities that he was participating in happen at school a lot, but this is just. I'm sure it wasn't that he just started smoking marijuana to celebrate Alabama's berth in the NCAA tournament. I'm fairly certain that this was not. But there's so many questions about it. 2.1 pounds. They said it wasn't for distribution, which is good. I guess that
I'm told, Barry,
doesn't make another charge.
I'm told, Barry, you got to dry that leaf out before you can smoke it. So maybe he just thought, man, I got a lot of weed I got to dry out. When I get my firewood, Barry, I get a lot of it. People go, man, I'll never burn that much firewood. Yeah, you will over a period of time, and you want it to season. You don't want it to be green. I think the same thing with weed. You don't want it to be green. You want it to season.
The other big difference is that Kenny over at River Region Straw, where John gets the firewood from, some of it's on the honor system. There ain't no honor system in the other stuff. It's cash on the barrel.
It is cash only. Yeah, no Venmo, no credit card, no check.
Yeah, no, I'll catch you later. None of that's what I understand. But, somebody was saying, wait a minute. He got charged with not buying a stamp to put on it, what in the world?
I have not been able to get a really good, solid answer about that. I mean,
that's just a way to put another charge on. Hey, by the way, we're getting you for 2.1 pounds for possession, for use, and everything. And you didn't buy the license you need to purchase your.
Now, here's the way
marijuana.
I hear it, Barry, and I don't know if you can go to the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse and get this stamp. The way it was positioned to me, you got to come to Montgomery and go to the revenue department or something like that and go get the stamp. Now, here's what I got a hard time figuring out.
I got a couple of hard time figuring out this stuff.
You bebop into the revenue department, and the little lady sitting there behind the desk, sir, may I help you? Yeah, I'm here to get a stamp for my weed. Now, wait a minute. Weed is illegal in this state, whether it's 2 pounds or a joint. The way last time I checked, marijuana is still illegal in this state.
You can't do it. Yes.
No matter how much you got. So if you walk in there and say, I need a stamp, well, you want a stamp for something that's illegal. That's what I can't figure out.
And that's basically you going into the feds or whatever and saying, hey, I got a lot of marijuana at my house. I also wonder this, and I thought about this. If I ever retire, and I probably won't, I love what I do. I'll keep doing it until I can't do it. If I ever retire, I want to retire and get a state job as that guy who sits behind the window passing out those stamps. I mean, he's sitting in there. He's watching videos. He's got, sweet heat pork rinds. He's got his feet up on the desk. The phone will ring every once in a while. He'll jump a foot. Whoa, hey, whoa. Marijuana stamp office. You want to go to lunch? Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. There ain't nobody saying, I want to make an appointment to come by and purchase my illegal marijuana stamp. I don't know that they make a great deal of money out of selling those stamps.
How much do they? I wonder what a weed stamp goes for, too.
I wonder what it looks like. I wonder who's on the cover of it. DJ.
And Gurn Sr. was talking about back in the day, and I remember every pack of cigarettes in the state of Alabama, you had to take the packs out of the carton and put a stamp on them. Same thing with liquor. If you bought a bottle of liquor in the state of Alabama, it had a Alabama stamp on it. Now, those stamps aren't on those bottles anymore. I don't know why, but I remember as a kid seeing the stamp on the bottle. Right. So I guess it's similar to that. I mean, you stamp it to get the state's share of it, but I go back to it's illegal. Last I checked, and of course, it was Aiden Holloway found out the hard way just how illegal it is.
Yep. Bob from Pike Road says Barry in Alabama, possession of marijuana 1 for a His possession for a use other than personal use, i.e. distribution, he was just not charged with that's what I'm saying. I know that was not distribution. It was for personal use. And it was 2.1 pounds, which seems like a lot. So,
well, from what I understand, Barry, people are saying it is a lot. I don't know what a pound, how much weed is in a pound bag. Obviously, it's a pound, but how much is it?
Yeah.
Is it this much or is it this much? I don't know how much a leaf weighs, but I would assume that a pound is a pretty good amount. A dime bag is an ounce of marijuana.
See, well, from a basketball standpoint, could not have happened at a worse time because he's a really good player.
No doubt.
He's a really, really good player. Evidently, from the latest we heard, Phylon, who's been fantastic, is not 100%. They need Aiden Holloway. What they don't need is this distraction and his loss. So what are you thinking, man?
And
Come on.
Barry, I'm not minimizing what's going on here because he did. He let his teammates down. He let his school down. Yeah. Very selfish. There again, the amount, there again, if he's distributing it, we got a big problem. If he's using it for himself, he's still got a problem, but obviously not as much as distributing it to others. And not to make it, to minimize it, but he ain't the only one doing this. And there's schools all over America. We talked about it yesterday. Somebody asked the question, why don't they drug test these athletes anymore? Because they know what they're going to find. Now, they might not find 2 pounds of weed, but they know they're going to find positive drug test. They know it, so they don't give it to them.
Yeah.
There you have it.
So, yeah, there we go. There were, again, the NIT game last night.
Yeah, were you there? Anybody at the game? I did see my friend who's got the courtside seats. They were 4 empties last night. Wasn't there? That surprised me. Yeah.
They also got started last night with the first four, which John holds kind of in the same regard as the NIT. Terrific game in the 11 versus 11. Texas beats North Carolina State on a last-second shot.
Yeah.
And Howard, the Fighting Spragues, they beat Maryland, Baltimore County 86-83. Today, the first four continues with Prairie View versus Lehigh.
Okay.
And Miami of Ohio. They did make the tournament at 31-1. They take on SMU, John's SMU. That's at 8:15. Both of those are on True TV. So there we go.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Got a game of interest that I'll be watching tonight, but we'll get to that later in about an hour. Barry, in about 40 minutes or so. And today, CJ Duncan's not going to be able to join us today. He's got a personal matter he's dealing with, and so he'll be back with us on next Wednesday. So we wish CJ well, and we'll see him next week. We will, though, Barry, speak to the individual that finished 7th out of 26 million people that entered the ESPN Bracket Challenge last year. She, of course, is my daughter, Lucy, and she's going to join us at the top of the hour to go over some first-round matchups.
Oh, I like it.
She felt like it was maybe not fair to release her Final Four since we're having a contest. I don't know. She might mention a few, but she's got some first-round upsets. You might want to listen to somebody that finished 7th out of 26 million last year in the ESPN Tournament Bracket Challenge. Josh Harris will join us at the bottom of hour number 2.
Don't want to miss that. As far as the Phantom goes, she didn't fall far from the tree, I would imagine. Well, lots to get to. John is in the main studio, his main studio. I am in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s $18,000 off. Super Duties $2,000 under invoice. And Lightning $16,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
4 for 4 in the Final Four. Pick the 4 teams to make the Final Four in this year's men's NCAA basketball tournament to win a 4-carat lab-grown diamond valued at well over $4,000 from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. The winner will be announced on Tuesday, April the 7th. And as a tiebreaker, submit the total points scored in the championship game to be played on Monday, April the 6th. We'll be taking entries from 6 p.m. Sunday, March the 15th through 11 a.m. Thursday, March the 19th. Entries can be submitted to Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. That's Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. 4 for 4 in the Final Four is sponsored by Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, Bama Budweiser, Phoenix Physical Therapy, and the Montgomery Regional Airport. In the event of a tie, there will be a live drawdown Tuesday, April 7th to determine the overall winner. Get your picks in beginning March 15th at Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com, and good luck.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. About 21 minutes past the hour. You just heard the promo for the 4 for 4 in the Final Four. Getting a lot of entries at Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. You got about 27 hours and 39 minutes to get your selections in, because at 11 a.m. tomorrow Central Time, the window will close, and we don't want to hear about it. We've already told you, no excuses. 11 a.m. tomorrow is the cutoff for the 4 for 4 in the Final Four. Your shot to win a 4-carat diamond from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. So get in on that. It's sponsored by Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, Phoenix Physical Therapy, Bama Budweiser, and the Montgomery Regional Airport. Give us your Final Four teams. We need the 4 teams you think will make the Final Four and the total number of points scored in the championship game, and you could be the winner. So get those in by tomorrow. As I said, a lot of people have already gotten theirs in.
Yep. We
know we get a mad rush toward the end, which is fine.
Gracious.
Our server can handle it, and we appreciate it. While you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your enemies, whomever, but tell them to watch Longshore McKnight, listen to us, Facebook, YouTube, X, Spotify, Instagram, Apple Tunes, you name it, we're there. Barry got some great information from our friends at Yellowhammer. Send us some information about all the views that we're getting through the Yellowhammer Facebook page, close to 20,000 in a 30-day period between February and March. We really appreciate folks checking us out on that platform, and there's so many ways to do it. We appreciate it. Just go to the search bar and type in Longshore McKnight. You'll find us.
Boy, there's a lot starting up tomorrow. First of all, today, as we mentioned, it's Prairie View versus Lehigh.
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio versus SMU. Tomorrow, the tournament proper begins, and the very first game is in Greenville, South Carolina. It's TCU and Ohio State. And the second game is from Oklahoma City. It's the first of 4 games on the day from Oklahoma City, and that's Troy versus Nebraska tomorrow morning at 11:40 on True TV with Brandon Gaudin, Chris Webber, and Andy Katz. There's several guys that I just barely know about. I mean, you can tell the big ones, right? Brad Nessler, I consider a big one. Ian Eagle, a big one. It's just weird. Kevin Harlan is a big one. It's just weird not to have Nance on it anymore.
And somebody mentioned that on the chat board yesterday, the River Region Straw chat line. I mentioned Jim Nance and so, hey, he's not doing it anymore. No. And I went, I forgot about that. He's getting ready for Augusta.
Which is about a month away or something like that. Hey, he's got to get his mind right or whatever. So there is that. And like I said before about last week and the tournaments and all that, love the conference tournaments. There's games all over the place. But even I'll admit I'm not, putting an alarm on my Apple Watch to say, oh, hang on just a minute. Here is Ryder versus Wagner in the Metro Atlantic. I may miss that.
Yeah.
But in the tournament.
Oh, thanks for the coffee, honey. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, look at that.
Jealous.
Nice cup of coffee.
No. Anyway, give me a full day of it.
Okay.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be busy calling a game, which is a blessing. But when that's done, man, you better know I'm going to be ready for tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm watching Howard versus Michigan, a 16 versus 1 tomorrow night. I'm watching Texas versus BYU, Texas A&M versus St. Mary's. I mean, they are loaded up at night, and I really love it. Back when we were younger, you just hoped that your team was on, or a team you had heard of was on. Oh, man, who we got? Man, we got Duke again. Golly, who is Michigan? Golly. And, back in the day, it used to be the Big East was the big beast. You always had Syracuse, and you had Seton Hall, and you had Georgetown, and you didn't never have your team. Now you can watch all of them whenever you want to, or you can watch one venue, all of them. You can do a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to be watching all of those games. Should I have admitted that? Yeah, I guess so. I want to be truthful, transparent. Yeah. I'll watch a few. Like I said before, I didn't watch all of the SEC tournament, not every game. But I'll be watching a few. Some of those obscure teams. There was a game I did watch last night for a minute because I had an interest in it. More on that later. Right. But there's so many games and they're spread out over so long of a time period that I can't say I watch every one of them. But I'm going to try to get as many of them in as I can because I got to watch my bracket and see how that goes as well. Barry, I am told through our Crack River Region Straw VIP text line. What has Auburn done now?
2,619 people were inside Neville Arena last night. That was the announced attendance. I would have gauged more. I would have thought more would have been there. It looked like there were more than that, but that's just what I'm told through a press release.
Well, I love the Auburn people. I lived in Auburn for a long time. So many friends there, respect the program and all that. But Auburn fans, they do so many things well. They love their teams. They support their teams through thick and thin. There's no doubt. But really, one of the things that they do the best, very few people do righteous indignation like Auburn fans do.
Yeah.
I can't believe, and sometimes it's justified, believe me. I can't believe that they didn't call that double dribble on that guard at Virginia. Man, why did they call that foul on that three-point shot? Why are they continuing to give Cam a hard time? I cannot believe that we did not win a national championship in 83. Yeah. We'll go ahead and award winners. Auburn fans can do righteous indignation really well.
They're very loyal.
It was
said it many a time. I don't know if a fan base, I'm sure there's some if I dug around, but Auburn has always to me been a very loyal fan base. Love their program, love their school. When they're going, that fan base is something to deal with.
Maybe their lack of support last night was sort of their protest about not getting in the big tournament.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, whenever it didn't happen, and it didn't surprise me, not only did it not, when it didn't happen, did it not surprise me, but you start hearing all of the whataboutisms. Sure. Well, what about SMU? SMU strength of schedule, such and such. Well, we had to win more games.
Well, here's the way I phrased it yesterday, Barry. It's interesting that you bring that up. This might surprise you about Auburn because I did a little research because I know we've asked about this. So I'll start it out with this. These programs, these 7 programs I'm about to mention are 7 programs that I'm really going to keep an eye on from now on. They got something going because these 7 teams told the NIT, we're going to take a pass this year. Thanks for the offer, but we're not going to play in your little tournament. Belmont, Virginia Tech, San Diego State, Seton Hall, Indiana, Florida State, and the Oklahoma Sooners. So an SEC team said, we're not going to play. Greg Sankey, okay, fine. But in terms of Auburn, Barry, I see it a little differently, and here's what I mean. Auburn was kicking and screaming. Well, their former head coach was kicking and screaming on national TV, laying out all the scenarios of why Auburn should be in the NCAA tournament and why Miami of Ohio should not, for that matter. Their current head coach did some lobbying as well, which that's normal.
Sure. That's his job.
Most coaches do that. I don't know if it was Patty's position to do it, but so what? I think if Auburn would have said, okay, we're taking our ball and going home. We didn't get what we wanted. We're a spoiled brat. We're leaving and not playing in your little tournament. But they didn't take that attitude. And they said, okay, we'll play and we'll host and we'll tip it at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday against an in-state team we really don't want to play. Nothing was working in Auburn's favor here. But they said, we're going to do it anyway. Didn't get what we really wanted, but we'll play in your little tournament as well. So I got some respect for them.
Maybe the focus shouldn't be on the number, what'd you say, 2,614 or something like that?
2169, I believe.
2169. Yeah. Maybe the focus should be on the 6,800 people instead of on all the people who didn't show up.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to talk with a couple of the people that did. These are the core group. I mean, these are the people. These are the ones that, by gosh, if I'm John Cohen, if I'm whatever the Auburn Collective is called,
Never to Yield, isn't it?
Never to Yield. That's exactly.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
He's a contributor, people. No, the Never to Yield Foundation. I've got some intern up there, and I am taking names of everybody there.
Yeah.
All right. This is Joe Lovehorn from Auburn. Here's a number. Here's Fred Smith. All right. Okay. These are the guys we need to make sure we hit hard, because if they're coming to this game, they'll do anything for Auburn, so.
Hey, it was a big win for the baseball team against Georgia Tech as well. Don't forget about that. That was a big one. I'm telling you, we talked with Brian about baseball yesterday. Barry, I'm getting the vibe. I mean, this Auburn baseball team could win it all when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the day was a big day. I saw a tweet from our buddy Jason Campbell, who is the color analyst for the Auburn Sports Network. Obligatory comment about Stan. But Jason said, a great day, got to watch a bit of spring practice, got to watch, the baseball team, got to watch the basketball team. Every game matters. And he's right. He's right. I mean, if I'm there, if I'm a fan, I'm going to everything I possibly can within reason while I live my life. But I would imagine that if it was available, there probably would have been more people had they sold tickets to that spring football practice.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, Barry, because once again, and you just be patient with me. It's days like today I think a lot about Phillip, because just how he would have written about the huge win against South Alabama last night. Wouldn't have mentioned the lack of a crowd, but just mentioning beating a scrappy, well-coached, hustling Jaguar program. He would describe the action just incredibly well. But as I looked at Auburn Undercover, a lot of football news, a lot of spring practice, a lot of recruiting news. Then you kind of get down to the basketball stuff down here as well. But my brother-in-law texted me this morning from Atlanta, and he said, when will y'all talk about Auburn's quarterback's throwing motion? And I did not know this, Barry, until about it yesterday. I was reading about the practice a little bit and understand Byron Brown has a kind of a Bernie Kosar sidearm slinging kind of action. That's kind of what I picked up on.
Oh, boy. He hadn't even had his first scrimmage yet.
Yeah.
And already, throwing motion. Tuberville's got big ears.
Now,
Bowden is short. Gus like a Waffle House, and Byron Brown throws funny. Here we go.
People are Googling Bernie Kosar because they don't know who I'm talking about, because that was, 40 years ago. Played at Miami, went on to play for the Cleveland Browns.
It's like 44
wore number 20. He was a quarterback that wore number 20. But my brother-in-law is a big Aub, so I thought I'd help him out a little bit. But all I know is he's a sidearm slinger. I said we talked to Jason about it tomorrow. Had you heard that?
I've seen him play before, and everybody's motion's a little bit different, I would imagine. I do know he's thrown for a lot of yards. I mean, if you've seen the last couple of quarterbacks Auburn's got, I wouldn't care if he throws it underhand. If it's better than what they have seen. Yeah.
Did you see Louis Tiant, the way he pitched? I mean,
the man won 20 games every year, it felt
Jim
like.
Furyk on the PGA Tour, his swing was a little different. Yeah.
No kidding.
So I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, how about this one? Casino Greg is a former winner of our tournament contest. He's a little cocky. Greg will get to the Daily Dog in about 40 minutes.
All right. For those of you listening in, he says, John, I woke up at 2:30 a.m. for my nightly whiz and checked on your Daily Dog. Good job. See, that's the thing. When you're doing that in the middle of the night, man, you don't check your phone.
Oh.
You don't check your phone. You want as little mental engagement as you can, so you can go right back to bed and go to sleep. You start seeing that, and all of a sudden you see, late field goal, game cover for Browns or something like that, and then you can't sleep the rest.
You're staring at the ceiling.
Turn the lights on. You know the routine. You've done it a million times. Even in the dark, where everything is. I mean, everything. And you just, there's little mental engagement as you can. Yeah. And then, hey, look at the Phantom. How about that?
Yeah, you check the score. You just there's two sides to that, Barry. And I think Casino Greg was actually kind of needling the Phantom. We'll get to that more in a minute.
Okay. So only one of you hit the target at 2:30.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the deal. You check the score and you lose. You can't go back to sleep because you're wondering what happened. And you check the score and you win and you're happy and excited. You still can't get back to sleep.
You don't need to that. If you can do it, keep your eyes shut as you go into the restroom and take care of things and come back out and try not to wake your wife. Anyway.
Barry, I asked the question about Byron Brown. I just cannot tell you how appreciative I am of the VIP River Region Straw text line. I asked the question about Byron Brown with his throwing motion. You know what I get? His game stats in the two games he played against Alabama: 14 out of 28 for 87 yards, 15 out of 35 for 103. Thank you. Appreciate the info.
Those guys, number one, they're all incredibly huge Bama fans. Number two, it's like they've got, it's like their information police. You used to be able to call the library back before you had the internet and say, yeah, what's the capital of Iceland? And some like, hold please, and it's Reykjavik. John's like that, except he's got like a constellation of them all around him. They're like his guardian angels or something. Byron Brown's throwing motion. Hey, he threw for 87 against Bama in his first start. He threw for 103 or whatever in the second start. You can say anything, especially if it's anti-Auburn. And it will be.
Well,
there will be.
No way that came across as anti.
In every way that came. Oh, number one, he throws funny. Number two, he didn't have a good day throwing against Alabama.
Now, let the record state.
1 year. They didn't mention that.
Let the record state that for a guy that has no interest in the NIT, I did give Auburn praise for biting the bullet and playing it and hosting it at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday against an in-state team.
With a lot of fans saying, what are you doing? Don't do that. That's an embarrassment to even play in that thing. And one of them decided he wasn't even going to play. He just didn't tell anybody. You know, hey, where's Keyshawn? Is he?
I mean,
can somebody call him? I don't, you know, he ain't answering his phone.
That kind of surprised me, Barry. I mean, well, no, it didn't. We see football players that opt out of bowl games.
Normally they say something. Though.
I don't know why you'd opt out of an NIT game like 3 hours before tip. It might be more than 3 hours. I don't know.
Well, no, he just didn't show up at practice.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's a little odd. But I don't think that'll be the end of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about the vibe that's difficult to attain practicing for the NIT. You know, I mean, it's difficult. It is. You know, I've called NIT games before. I understand where they're coming from and all that, and I support it. I love basketball. But man, if you are Auburn and you're waiting and waiting and waiting and we didn't make it. Golly. Yeah. All right, fellas, we're showing up on whatever it is, Monday, and we're getting after it because we've got South Alabama coming to our place. I mean, you got to be honest, John.
Sure.
That would be a difficult sell for every member of your team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if I'm a player, I'm going, what? Well, why are we still playing? I mean, come on. And I know that's not what you're supposed to say. These kids need to play together. Well, half of them going to be gone anyway. They're not even going to be on this team next year.
Don't they get paid to play in that game? I mean,
that was brought up yesterday.
You got to give up some money or something.
Yeah, I mean, like these tournaments, like the one Auburn and Alabama played it out in Vegas. I'm with you. I can't imagine these kids are playing unless they're getting paid.
At least, you're getting paid to the end of the month. Hey, look. We're going to send you your March paycheck, but it's going to be missing a little something because you missed a little something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's take a break.
Real quick before we go to break, it's amazing the topics that the River Region Straw text line will get off on. I mentioned something about Casino Greg, and then we get I got up at 2 o'clock to go to the bathroom, broke my shoulder. Theota says, I didn't know they had these. My toilet has a light in the bowl. Just saying. Really? I need one of those for better aim. That's awesome. I didn't know you could get one of those.
It seems like it'd be what? Is it activated by motion or what?
I don't know, but I got to look into that, Theotis. That sounds like a pretty good. I usually just turn the light on in the bathroom, which I'm sure disturbs.
That's not the thing to do. Yeah. No.
Just have a light in the bowl. You can use it as a like a night light in there. That's a great idea. Okay.
Oh, no. Look, for some reason, John delayed the break so he could read that. so you will be edified. So you will be somehow cultured.
I just thought I'd share what a lot of the topic on the chat line is about. I mean, you mentioned Casino Greg, and he's asking about the Daily Dog getting up at 2:30 in the morning, and look what happened.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. About motion sensor toilet nightlight.
Huh. Now,
sometimes we have too much money.
Is it an aftermarket, or do you have to buy the toilet with the light? Or no, it looks like it's aftermarket. $9.95. Oh, look at that.
What is that? What is that thing?
I don't like the
motion
purple,
sensor toilet light washroom night lamp.
Ooh, yeah, I don't like the
16
purple.
Colors.
And obviously, you don't want to get the yellow. Can you give us the yellow look, Gurn? Because that's certainly not what you want. Yeah, man.
Am I done? I can't tell. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's take a break, please. I'm screaming to take.
Can't you get that stuff that turns the water blue anyway, like on an airplane? You can get that color.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Call Dixie and it's Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Have to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got you, Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Alrighty, back at it, about 14 minutes to the top of the hour here with Longshore and McKnight. So glad you are with us here. Barry is in Oklahoma City for Troy and Nebraska NCAA Tournament Round 1 action tomorrow morning. Barry, I thought that was a very interesting stat that we talked about earlier today. Troy and Nebraska, neither of these teams have ever won an NCAA tournament game.
Yep, Troy is 0-3, and of course I've been to all of them. Lost in Nashville in 0-3 to Xavier, which was a really good team. David West and Lionel Chalmers. Lost in 2017 to Duke in Greenville, South Carolina. Lost last year to Kentucky. Now this year, Nebraska. Nebraska's had a great year. They started out 20-0. And they finished 6-6.
Yeah.
So shoot a lot of three-pointers and everything. Troy has won 22 games this year, win the Sun Belt for the second straight year, both the regular season and the tournament. You always have Cinderella teams. Troy may be that. You always have players. Remember the guy from Oakland University, Jack somebody, who was hitting all those threes? You know, have people like that, guys that you've never heard of. You're like, hey, yeah, this is great. It may be Thomas Dowd for Troy, maybe that guy. He's, he's effervescent. The camera loves him. He's a great player, the type of player that people pay attention to and all that. So look out for that. If you had the choice,
okay,
3 choices. Watch NIT basketball tonight, and I don't know who's playing. Watch another first 4 of the NCAA tournament in Dayton.
Yeah.
Say, just the Prairie View Lehigh game, the 16 versus the 16,
okay.
or you watch the kickoff of the NCAA women's basketball tournament, where they have
is the World Baseball thing still going on? Can we show
that ended last night. Venezuela beat the United States. Women's basketball, the first 4 16 versus 16 game is Stephen F. Austin versus Missouri State. Somebody says, John, here's $1 million. You get it if you watch one of these. Which one?
Well, I will say this. There again, though, you got to define how long I got to watch it. To me, if I watch 30 seconds of it, I've watched it.
No. See, that's the long story, because 30 seconds is about his attention span. But you got to watch it. I mean, we're talking about a payoff here. The whole thing beginning to end, not switching the channels. Not, okay, we're in a commercial. Let me see what Jesse's got to say.
Yeah. Well, you know there again, if there's money involved, it's kind of like I've said, look, I'll dress up as Albie if they pay me enough.
That's about the limit, though. Yeah. I mean, John can't think of anything more out there than, man, I would put a fistful of houseflies in my mouth for $1 million. I'd fight Mike Tyson for a round for $1 million. John is like, man, I'd be the Mike Mann for Auburn for $1 million. Everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think I could gut it out for 2+ hours watching an NIT game or one of these.
I know your wife.
Games.
She's got to be over there handing you the coffee and going, no way. No way John can watch anything for 2 hours without switching, without surfing.
If I'm driving down the highway, it drives her insane because I'm clicking channels. If I see the song title come up on Sirius, sucks. I don't want to hear that. She goes, can you stay on one channel? Give me a break.
Go for a soda. Kim Mitchell. Hang on, honey.
That I'll stop at. You better believe it. But you're right, man. Jesse's on vacation this week, so he's not in. What? He got fill-ins. So it hadn't been as good. Nothing against the people filling in, just hadn't been as good. So I don't know if I'll be watching that. Definitely not watching, what'd you say, the women's tournament or something? Whatever.
ESPN2 at 8 o'clock. Stephen F. Austin versus Missouri State in the 16 versus 16
Wait, when does the Lady Tide play? I mean, maybe I might watch a little of that if they were on.
I ain't talking about watching a little. John says, I've seen them play. Yeah, like one possession. Girl missed a shot, and John says that's enough.
The odds here. It is a better chance that I'm watching Masters highlights from 1974 with Gabe Brewer going up against
look, here's Julius Boros, everybody. Julius Boros.
Instead of watching the NIT or one of these playing games tonight. There's a better chance of me watching that on Golf Channel and getting an extensive breakdown from Brandel Chambly about how it all played out.
So you actually have live competition in an NCAA tournament tonight. To determine who moves on. You win, you move on, you lose, you go home. One of John's favorite scenarios.
Yes, sir. No sticking around.
John's going to be sitting there with his boys going, say, okay, right here, watch. Paul Knott Caruth is going to go for an end sweep and just get inside the pylon against the Aubs or whoever, you know?
Yeah, so I don't know. My TV viewing might be limited tonight. We'll see. Now, Barry, back to how I did not know this, and John from Wetumpka did not inform us on the River Region Straw chat line or all the other thousands of baseball fans out there, but you're telling me that little old Venezuela finally Venezuela beat the U.S. in something, beat at the U.S.
they've been
in
taking some
America's game. They beat the U.S. in America's game with all these high-priced major leaguers. Wait a minute. How did that happen? And we got beat by Italy earlier, I believe.
Yes. Italy and Venezuela? Come on. Now Venezuela's got more major leaguers than any other country except the United States and the Dominican Republic, for what that is. But they're pretty good. We did watch a little bit of it last night at dinner. We watched a little bit more of it in the hotel room afterwards. I'm telling you, it was a 3-2 game. U.S. was batting in the ninth. And can't think of the name of the pitcher, but Bryce Harper had a 2-run home run to make it 2-2. Then Eugenio Suarez hit an RBI double, and but the Americans in the ninth inning, they had let me think. I know they had Roman Anthony. They had the kid from Selma, Gunnar Henderson, and one other guy who I can't think of. I mean, three. Kyle. Oh my gosh, the guy for the Phillies, from Indiana University. Anyway,
you asked me.
Had them all three up there. Yeah. Kyle Schwarber. I don't know why I didn't think about that. And so you're doing all right, But I mean, he struck them all out. Well, no, Henderson popped out to the third baseman or something. And then the next two guys struck out. I mean, he's throwing 98 miles an hour. And I get that. Venezuela's got some good ball players. But it's Venezuela. They got 33 million people there. I mean, they're smaller than California.
Yeah.
And they're punking the United States.
Maybe Trump should have gone in there and gotten the baseball team instead of that president a couple of months ago.
This was a super team. This is, I mean, every great American player was in it. You know, they did a great job of signing all these guys and saying, yeah, we want to play. I mean, you had Aaron Judge and you had Bryce Harper and you had all those pitchers and everything. And they're missing spring training. Not that John thinks that's a big miss, but
yeah, boy, yeah. Ooh.
And you get beat your American super team.
I tell you how worthless spring training is if they let these guys go play somewhere else. Matter of fact, Barry, I've mentioned this many years. My friends that are big baseball fan, they're leaving today to go down to Sarasota and South Florida to watch spring practice for about 3 or 4 days. They love it. I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't think of anything more miserable, but they love it.
It's the best. It is the best of the best.
How about this, Barry? You mentioned Kim Mitchell. I did not know Kim Mitchell was in a band called Max Webster. Did not know that.
Max
said Kim could shred like Eddie Van Halen. You know, you listen to Go for Soda. He gets that little guitar riff going in that song.
I didn't know that was him, though. I mean, I remember the guitar riff because everybody remembers Go for Soda from
Webster.
Kim Mitchell.
I did not know that. Appreciate that, Ty.
Yeah,
Man,
just got a text here. Yeah, Kim Mitchell's a dude. It's not a girl.
Yeah.
Kim is like Sandy or
Dana. Yeah. Or Jean. You know, that can be used into male or female. Or Billy. I know a girl named Billy. Believe it or not, I do. Yeah. Kim Mitchell. I did not know that. We appreciate our music enthusiast out there. That's good stuff. Really appreciate that.
According to Coach, he says, is this news? Snoop Dogg has Alabama, Arizona, Duke, and Houston in the Final Four. Let the Holloway comments begin.
Is that true?
Yeah, Snoop has Troy beating Nebraska. Of course, his nephew played football at Troy, Trey Hall, back 10 or 11 years ago. Snoop, I wonder how he feels. Is he disappointed at Aiden Holloway's behavior? Is he disappointed because now, without Aiden Holloway, Alabama will struggle. I didn't think they were going to win the national championship anyway. But without him, and then because of that behavior, I mean, is Snoop like, well, all right then, okay.
So Barry, I mentioned this.
I get it.
I guess yesterday because we talked a lot about Aiden Holloway the last couple of days. And there again, I don't want this to come across that I'm minimizing it or discounting it.
Because it's illegal.
I've heard a lot of national guys go, well, if they were going to lose a guy at one position, that's the position to lose because they're deep at guard. Okay. All right. Obviously, the guys that are behind him aren't as good as he is because he played in 27 out of 28 games or something like that. But I guess that is a plus. They got some guys that are there. But here's the way I look at it. And they're going to play the games just to see. They're going to see what happens. But if it plays out like most people believe, Alabama will win Friday night, probably go up against a Texas Tech team, we're thinking. And even if they beat Texas Tech, is there anybody out there that really believes Alabama's going to beat Michigan, whether Aiden Holloway's playing or not? I mean, I hate to be a doom and gloomer. I hate to hike my leg up on you, but Alabama ain't getting past the Sweet 16 if they even get there.
Yeah, they, Alabama's difficulty. They're not great defensively anyway. They're particularly not great defensively in the paint. Yeah. And that's all Michigan is like these Yaxel Lendenborg, the UAB transfer, who's first team All-American for Michigan this year, is a stud. They got all these 6'10", 250-pound guys.
Yeah.
And Aiden Sherrill is going to be the one to stop him. I'm with you there. That's Michigan's bracket. All respect to Tennessee and Alabama and Tech and Georgia and everybody.
That's what I got to tell you. The basketball people out there have done a masterful job in hyping, promoting, building interest, building hype and excitement. And we made the tournament. This time next week, if Alabama's, I guess they wouldn't have played by it. They play in Michigan in the Sweet 16. It'd be a Thursday, Friday next week. But there again, a week from now or so, 10 days, you're going to be talking about, how great it was. We made the tournament. No. Well, we got blown out by Michigan in the Sweet 16 round.
See, I never have disagreed with that necessarily. It's just irritating that John thinks that that's the reason why you play. That's the reason why something matters, is how many people talk with you about it. You know, you got people back in some obscure little lab at the National Institute of Health, and they're trying to cure cancer. John says, all right. Who's buying tickets to watch them play?
In these play-in games last night, the teams that lost, wow, man, we were so excited 2 days ago. We were having a watch party, and we had pizza and cake and cookies and punch, and everybody was excited. And where's everybody now? I mean, I know we got beat by 40, but wow,
and it's all about, what everybo's saying.
I'm giving
about
them
what you actually
the hype train is. They've done a masterful job with it. They're getting a ton of money along the way, but I don't know. I just always kind of there's a huge high, and then woof, you fall off the cliff. So fans out there, I'm giving you just a little advice. If your team goes down, you got to have a soft landing.
Coming up, the best bracket picker we've ever known. Also, we'll talk with Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician. Yeah. And speaking of riding high and then falling off a cliff, we'll have the Phantom's Daily Dog a little bit later on as well. Hour number 2 is up. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. In Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me."
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074. All right, welcome back in, everybody. A couple of minutes past the hour here on a Wednesday. We are going to have a special guest here momentarily. She's going to squeeze us in, Barry, in between getting ready and heading out the door to go to work. So,
there we go.
Yeah, she's going to be nice enough to do that. So might be 3 or 4 more minutes before, but she'll hop on. Gives us a time to recap the game last night, Barry, in which
169. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I got, Barry, believe it or not, I mean, my crack staff, I mean, they don't mess around. They sent the article, Montgomery Advertiser. What is that? Is that still a thing? Anyway, it was an article in the Montgomery Advertiser about the game last night where they say in the NIT game last night, there were 2,169 people in attendance. In a game that Auburn was behind several times ago.
Oh, yeah. At halftime, they were behind.
Yeah. But Stephen Pearl went in there and drew up a second half game plan.
No, what he did, he has this kid named Caden Magwood.
Okay.
He hadn't played in like 2 months. I guess he had to play more because Keyshawn Murphy didn't show up to practice or whatever. But this guy made 3 3-pointers in the second half. Career high 14 points. Auburn was down at halftime, but they outscored the Jags 48-31 after intermission. Just out of
curiosity,
it was Caden Magwood. And everybody's like, who in the heck is Caden Magwood?
Barry, I'm sure you probably don't know this, but I'll throw it out to you anyway. What did Auburn outscored South in the second half?
They outscored them 48-31.
Auburn was laying 12 in the second half last night, and they covered. How about that? If you had the second half line with Auburn down and you laid the 12, you were a winner. I got that from our friends over at the Destin Connection. So there you have it.
It's not the only thing he's ever gotten from.
He got that right. Yeah. All right, Barry, joining us now is a very special guest. Last year, and they're doing it again this year, ESPN is having a tournament bracket challenge, which millions and millions of people participate in. Last year, the number was over 26 million, and this beautiful young lady finished 7th out of those 26 million in the tournament bracket challenge. How about that?
Yes, only 7th. Lucy Vogel is with us, also known as John's daughter.
Exactly.
I still can't believe you did that, Lucy.
I know. I've got a lot of pressure this year. All my friends have been texting me all week. Who have you got? So took a little bit more time making my bracket this year, which I'm afraid may be a mistake, but I tried to kind of do the same technique as last year, but I don't really think I've got much method to my madness. But I still can't believe I was 7th. I'm smart enough this year. I've entered brackets that I can win money on just in case I do get lucky again.
Nut doesn't fall far from the tree.
Genetics, no doubt.
Yeah.
No question.
All right, Lou, so tell our audience, we don't want you to give it all away because we're running a little contest here. We need people to come up with their own Final Four. But you mentioned yesterday you've got a few upsets in round 1.
Yeah, I feel like there's always a couple 12 seeds that'll sneak in that first round. So I was in between maybe picking High Point over Wisconsin.
Nice.
I didn't go that route. I'm going to go Akron beating Texas Tech in the first round.
I've actually called a game with Akron this year. Akron is all that. They win the MAC over Miami of Ohio. They have got a guard who was the player of the year. He weighs about $160, and he scores 20 points a game. Love that pick, Lucy.
That is I like that one too. That is a good one. So those are how about some SEC schools? There's one SEC school I'm going to ask you about. We'll get to that in just a minute. Other SEC schools are in the tournament. I believe there's 10 schools. Any SEC team that you think might make a nice little run?
Well, I got to go with Florida in the Final Four again. They may not be my winner this year, but they did me well last year. I got to stick with them. So I think they'll have a good run this year.
Yeah.
Not Alabama's just so hit or miss. I was a little risky on them this year.
Yeah, I understand.
Aiden Holloway got you a little concerned?
Yeah, a little concerned about his behavior.
Okay.
All right.
Any
other high points in there? I mean, not high points like High Point. Yeah. Any other small h, small p high points in there that are of interest, Lucy?
May not be 12 seed, but I did, looking back at my full bracket, I've got UCF over UCLA in that first round too.
I'm loving it.
So
We'll
just have to cross our fingers for another good run.
Yeah. Let's see. Hang on. I'm getting something here. Her comments are strictly for entertainment purposes only. Do with them what you will. We do not condone any type of illegal. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, we got it. Lawyer gave me the thumbs up. We're good. Yes.
Yeah. So there again, we've got folks entering a contest. She is not eligible since she is a family member of Longshore and McKnight.
Yes.
So Lucy will not be eligible to win, but all you other viewers and listeners out there, you need to get in on it as well. a couple of upsets, a couple of early shockers in the first round. So I know you're busy. I mean, it seems at your age, it seems like y'all are going to a wedding every weekend. But how are you going to mix in your tournament viewing with all your social activities?
Oh, well, I will say, looking back on it, this whole basketball season, everybody's been asking, have you been paying attention? Are you ready for March Madness? And really just going into it blind, I think. Then we now when the fun starts. So
that's the way it's
I always enjoy March Madness, and there's always a lot of excitement. So we'll definitely be streaming starting tomorrow.
There you go. Well, we always enjoy your visits. Good to see you. Thanks for all the expertise.
Go Trojans. Good luck to Troy tomorrow.
Love it. Thank you very much.
Hey, where have you got Troy? You got Troy winning that game?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I love it. I love it.
I don't, Barry, but I'm rooting them on.
There you go. There we go. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, as long as they cover, right?
Exactly.
Great stuff. I don't know if she'll finish 7th again, but she's working on it. Really appreciate her hopping on before she heads to work. And I do want to mention this because Theotis, I appreciate that, my friend. She does. She looks just like her mother, acts like her too. And, of course, Theotis knew Lucy's mom, who passed away years ago. And you're right. She does. She's got a lot of her mother's characteristics. So I appreciate you pointing that out, Theotis.
That is a great compliment. Well, that's good stuff. Akron, how in the world? Because, Troy beat Akron on ESPN2 back at Trojan Arena. A whale of a game between two conference champions and two tournament teams. I was impressed with Akron because for a couple of things. Number one, they've got a couple of really good players. I like their coach. But two, how in the heck do you recruit anybody to Akron, Ohio? Hey, come be a part of the excitement of Akron.
Yeah. I'm with you, Barry. What makes Akron so good? I don't think I've ever been to the state of Ohio. Now that I've never been to Cleveland. I've never been to Cincinnati.
I've been everywhere in Ohio.
And the Cincinnati airport's not even in the state of Ohio. So
John showed his lack of interest or lack of information about Ohio when he asked the Western Kentucky football coach if it's difficult, getting the same attention as Bowling Green does, which is in Ohio. Anyway, there was that. I don't know. John, usually we get something from the River Region Straw text group at some point with a link showing exactly how, or not exactly, in a ballpark figure, how much money is wagered legally and illegally on bracket contests and March Madness pools and all that stuff. It is an incredible amount of money. We'll try to get that a little bit later on.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
In the state of Alabama, where actually, gambling's still illegal.
It's
just
still
like
illegal.
Marijuana
So is weed. We could be building a lot of prisons and repairing roads and bridges and building schools if we were taxing it.
It's an incredible amount of money for a state where you can't do it. Just how many people are doing it?
Barry, you're right. Super Bowl gets a lot of gambling handle, no doubt, legal and illegal. We hear about that every year. You know what's right behind it? The NCAA tournament, because it's multiple days. A lot of teams are playing. Look,
a lot of people who don't normally bet on anything, if they bet on one thing,
that's right.
It's going to be March Madness.
Two of the best times I've ever been to Vegas, been a lot, but two of the favorites. NFC Championship weekend in the NFL. Never been for the Super Bowl, but that weekend was really off the charts.
Yeah.
And the NCAA tournament. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday opening weekend of the NCAA tournament in Vegas. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's action all day. It's so much fun. And it's a great time to be there.
It is. So very, very much a big deal. Like I said, I'm here for Troy, who plays tomorrow. I've got the radio broadcast of tomorrow's game against Nebraska. That will be at 11:40 on True TV. Brandon Gordon, Chris Webber, Andy Katz. Alabama plays on Friday afternoon as they take on Hofstra.
Yep.
at 2:15 from Tampa. And of course, they got every game at some point in all of for the first time in its history, the NCAA will eclipse the $1 billion mark in broadcasting rights for the tournament. Built-in escalators within the long-standing media contract with Turner and CBS. The marquee payout will jump from $995 million to $1.02 billion this season. That nearly matches the NCAA's entire total revenue from the fiscal year 2017. So, they're making a ton of money off of this.
Yep.
I don't know what the payout, what the numbers are for the college football playoff, but $1.02 billion for the NCAA basketball tournament still, I think, makes them the preeminent money earner for the NCAA, right?
No doubt about that. That's why these teams travel so well, because
it's sweet.
The NCAA has made so much money. Speaking of that, a couple of things that have caught my attention. I do want to bring this one to you since we have been talking a little bit about gambling and whatnot. I shared this yesterday. I know you weren't able to hear it. My boys were down in the Dominican Republic over the last 4 or 5 days, a little spring break trip.
Right.
You mentioned the Dominican Republic because they have really good baseball players there as well. Anyway, they were there, and I kind of knew this going in. So we had a little blackjack teaching session before they left. And, just the basic strategy, some things, because 18 is the age to get into a casino in the Dominican Republic.
Did not know.
They a lot of Caribbean nations do that. 18, whatever. It's 18 drinking age, 18 casinos, whatnot. So anyway, I get a text from number 5 child, the caboose of the group.
Right.
Who's there with the 4 child. And he goes, man, we meaning 4 and 5, we are killing it in the casino. We're loving this blackjack. And I went, whoa. Tap the brakes, big boy. Not so, what did the words of the wolf?
Yes.
Come on.
What is that they say about Fight Club? The number one rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, And, we're killing it. Ooh.
I did not get any more text regarding that subject while they were, I think this was the first night they were there. I got that text.
While they were cooling off.
They got in last night after I'd already gone to bed. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those sessions went after that initial text, because I did tell them, take your winnings and run, because they'll have it back and more if you continue to have that attitude. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they took my advice there or not. All right. Also, I believe this is Bob from Pike Road. This is interesting. John, did your VIP Bammers mention that Byron Brown threw for an average of 250 yards per game versus 3 straight ranked opponents last year, one of which was Miami? He goes on to say he also ran for 108 and 92 versus Alabama. I did not know he threw for 250 yards in 3 straight games against ranked opponents. But, Bob, what team didn't run for over 108 and 92 yards against Alabama last year? I mean, that team couldn't stop anybody.
Years. But
so I see what you're saying.
It's he throws funny. And he's not really all that good. That's what you've got to focus on. The message, Brett, the message is this guy's going to be the starting quarterback at Auburn. All right, fellas, let's crack our knuckles. Let's rub our palms together and let's get to work. What can we find out about Byron Brown to counter all of this expectation and happiness from the Aubs?
So, Barry, let's just cut through the chase. This is what our listening and viewing audience wants to hear. We can talk about Byron Brown and his sidearm action and whatever, this, that, and the other. Let me just go ahead and put it down in its simplest form. For all of our viewers and listeners out there, Alabama, Auburn fans, or whomever you may root for, on the 18th of March, 2026, in your opinion, what team is in the best quarterback shape? Auburn or Alabama?
Oh, are we comparing? Okay. I would say Auburn is. A guy who's been a 3-4 year starter, who's thrown for thousands and thousands of dollars and of yards and run for thousands and thousands of yards. That's the thing you got to watch out for as we get ready to go to break. Is you're hearing all the reports from Auburn practice. Boy, things are different. There's so much energy, so much enthusiasm, and that's great. I'm serious. That is great. But you got to kind of temper that a little bit. You got to kind of say, okay, all right, everybody. It's always that way. People were like, man, that Brian Harson's got a presence to him. You know, he's got something, you know. All that's what you're supposed to think right now. Just calm it down a little bit and let's wait until.
Yeah, one of the things I hate the most, kid looks great getting off the bus. Oh.
Yeah.
That ain't what you want to hear.
Unless you're Doc NBA and it's David Housel and you're over on Graymont in front of Legion Field. Stand by, more in a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 22 minutes past the hour, Barry. They're rolling in at Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. That's Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. It's the 4 for 4 in the Final Four, and they're coming in. I'm checking it during every break. We're getting more entries every time I go back. Pick the 4 teams to make the Final Four in this year's NCAA men's basketball tournament. Need those 4 teams.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. We need the total points scored in the championship game, which will be Monday, April the 6th.
Right.
You could be the winner of a 4-carat diamond valued at well over $4,000 from Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. And people ask me, why are you saying well over $4,000? Because Lyle tells me it's closer to $5,000, but we're trying to keep the theme of 4 for 4 in the Final Four, 4-carat diamond valued at well over $4,000. See, get it? See what we're doing here?
Yes. Now, so you know, what's several $100s among friends? You know,
that's right.
Believe me, when you look at it and she looks at it, believe me, that will be priceless. But you're right. I mean, you know, my buddy Gary Gallant, I go along with what he picks. Ooh.
Yeah, Gary, good job.
Doug Smith, he got in.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Sure did. Got some people getting in from all over the place, too, not just the river region, far beyond. So we really appreciate all of our listeners and viewers that check us out elsewhere throughout the day on social media. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. It's all there. People really, really taking advantage of that. YellowHammerNews.com as well. Get those in by tomorrow at 11 a.m., Barry. That's about 26 and a half hours from now.
Just so you know, tomorrow the tournament proper gets underway at 11:15. Greenville, South Carolina, where Iron Eagle, Bill Raftery, Grant Hill, Tracy Wolfson will be calling the opening tip of number 9 seed TCU versus number 8 Ohio State. And when it tips, as soon as the ball's up in the air, then we cut off the emails because that's
window
the
is
first
closed,
game
as they say,
of Thursday.
You are right. Get them in.
Followed by Troy.
And you know, man, we as long as we've been doing these type things, we know we're going to get a mad rush toward the end. That's fine. Our email server can handle it. It's okay. If you want to wait till the last minute to see if, somebody got hurt or girlfriend broke up with them or got busted for 2 pounds of weed, that's okay. If you want to wait, you can. It's your prerogative to do that if you want to. You just got to get it in by the stated time tomorrow at 11 a.m.
That's true.
To be eligible. All right. No, let's don't beat around the bush any further.
All right, time for the Phantoms Daily Dog. Wasn't here yesterday, so I didn't really know what to cross my fingers and rub my rabbit's
Well, I'll tell you
foot
what
about.
happened since you've been away. We had Nebraska against Purdue in the Big Ten tournament, and they were catching 8, and they got beat by like 17.
Yeah, they got
terrible.
beat by a bunch. It's true.
So that stunk. So Monday we said, well, let's go back to the NBA. We took the Los Angeles Clippers at home, taking on the San Antonio Spurs, who are really good. We were catching 9.5 at home. Didn't win the game. I mean, I hate it for the Clippers, really do. No, I don't. But they covered the number. So we won Monday with the Clippers covering against the Spurs. Then we go to last night, Barry.
Okay.
We go to NIT action in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Right.
Which is not far from where you are, I believe.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes, maybe.
I don't know what school had fewer fans at their game last night, Auburn or Oklahoma State, because my wife looked at it and said, "These look like that looks like a high school gym." I went, "Yeah, tell me about it." Davidson rolled in.
The Wildcats.
Yeah. They're in the A10 or something. What conference is Davidson in?
The Atlantic 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in the Big South now.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But, yeah.
So Davidson rolls in. Okie State, I'm kind of thinking, they don't care. Obviously, fans didn't care. They didn't show up. Davidson in this game, Barry, is catching 8.5.
Yes.
In that game last night. 8.5. Is what we've got written down on the tally sheet here.
Okay.
They were leading by 14 at one time.
Oh boy, this sounds like it's about to get bad.
They were leading by 18 at one time.
Life was good. Hearts were light. Sun was shining. Birds were singing.
They were leading the game, Barry, by 2 or 3 points with about the 10-minute mark in the game last night.
Ooh.
A 2-minute mark, excuse me. A 2-minute mark last night. And Oklahoma State somehow rattles around and gets up by 4, mainly on the free throw line.
Yes, which drives the Phantom nuts.
And Davidson did have an opportunity, Barry, to make a 3 to cut the Oklahoma State lead to 1.
But Steph Curry is not walking through that door.
And the rim was not friendly because it rattled around and hopped out.
It was unkind.
And Oklahoma State won 84-80. But as Casino Greg said earlier in the show today, Barry, he got up at 2:30, had to use the men's room, checked the score, and he said, "Hey, good job, Phantom. I hate it for Davidson that they lost the game, Barry. 2 nights in a row, the team that I picked loses the game. Hate it for you, but they cashed the ticket." We're catching 8.5 in this game last night at Oklahoma State. Thank you, Davidson. Really appreciate that for hanging on.
All right.
Hanging on. So tonight, Barry, this one really might surprise you.
Golly, it's got to be.
If last night didn't surprise you, Davidson.
Little surprised that the Phantom goes with the NIT, but then again,
I will say this, Barry. Davidson gets to the free throw line with about 30 seconds to go. Some white kid steps up there to the line, has no whiskers on his face, got a clean baby face. Just the look on his face, he is so nervous. I'm thinking this kid ain't got a prayer. Misses both of them.
Yeah.
It didn't airball it. But they're clanking around.
Part of the Phantom's preparation, part of the Phantom's success has come by reading people. And you'll see guys with that kind of a look, and the Phantom's like, oh, this guy's got no chance. No, come on, Phantom, what are you talking about? Joseph Bullifus is a good kicker. And then they show, against Auburn, they show, a real close look, and it's like, oh, no. He's going to hook this thing. It's going to hit the upright. The Phantom knows that. He'll look at that, a kid up there. Boy, this kid needs to hit free throws for me to cover this thing. And I'm looking at him, and I know there ain't a snowball's chance of him making those free throws. Well, we want to thank
Davidson for keeping it under the number last night. They were catching 8.5. They lost by 4, but we covered. Woo. So we're 2-0 to start the week out with the Phantom's Daily Dog. So tonight, Barry,
back to the NIT?
You think Davidson was a stretch? We're going with the Revolutionaries of George Washington tonight as they roll in to Utah Valley. What can you tell our audience about these two teams?
Utah Valley, they had a chance to win their conference tournament and make it to the NCAA final second. Utah Valley with like 2 seconds to go in the conference finals. Kid goes up for an unobstructed two-handed dunk to win it, and he missed it.
Oh, he did. Now, Barry, I got to tell you, I had never heard of Utah Valley. I had to look them up.
Well, they
won their conference at 14-4, overall 25-8. Team can score some points. They're in the WAC, if you're wondering. They play against teams like California Baptist, Utah Tech, UT Arlington, Southern Utah, Tarleton State, Abilene Christian. Do I need to go further?
That's John's whipping boy is Abilene Christian.
Actually, those are all the teams in their conference. All right, so I got to think they're not playing. I don't want to discount it, but they're not playing the cream of the crop.
Well, George Washington, they're no world beaters.
No,
the Revolutionaries are 18-15.
True.
And therefore, Utah Valley is, they got 2.5, something like that. 2.5 point favorite.
And they were 8-10 in the A-10, Barry, but they're going up against schools like St. Joe, Dayton, George Mason, Duquesne, St. Louis. I mean, they got some teams you've heard of.
Pretty good
before.
Teams, yes.
And I did see where even though Utah Valley can put numbers on the score a lot of points, so can the Revolutionaries. George Washington can fill it up as well. A lot of games in the 90s, several in the triple digits. So this team can play some O. So I'm thinking, wait a minute. Utah Valley wins their conference. George Washington finishes about midway down in their conference.
Yeah.
And the Revolutionaries are only catching 2.5 tonight. Something doesn't sell.
Okay.
Yeah, something smells here.
Yes.
So, Barry, we're going 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus.
Yes.
George Washington I don't even know what city Utah Valley's in.
I want to say it's in St. George, Utah, which is beautiful.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I think that's right.
We're going to take George Washington plus the 2.5 tonight, Barry.
There you go.
Look, I know we've had two teams that lost the game but covered the spread. I can maybe see George Washington. I'm not going to call for the outright win, but I could see it. But I'm grabbing the 2.5 tonight. take George Washington against Utah Valley in some NIT action.
The Phantom is broadening his horizons, betting the NIT twice in a row and a game on ESPN Plus.
How about that?
When we come back, Josh Harris will join us. John is in his home studio. I am in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for the NCAA tournament for the Troy Trojans. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's Ram Truck Month at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams $20,000 off or 0% for 6 years, and heavy duties $12,000 off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deals sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L's, and Gladiators up to $15,000 off, and Wranglers $13,000 off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Okay, 24 minutes until the top of the hour on this Wednesday. Barry is in Oklahoma City with Troy basketball. They're playing tomorrow against Nebraska in the NCAA tournament. Our man Josh Harris, the money line magician, joining us here today. NCAA tournament action. Know you're looking forward to it. Josh, how you doing today?
Doing great. Hanging out here in beautiful Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh, the Tidewater, right? Am I right?
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
My Lucy's mother, who joined us earlier today, my daughter, her mother went to school in Roanoke for 2 years, went to Hollins College up there in Roanoke.
I didn't know that. How about that?
Yeah,
Beautiful
I guess
area.
She figured out she really was missing me, and then she transferred to Alabama her junior year. How about that?
Well, Josh, let's look at the NCAA tournament. I'm here. I'm elbow deep in it. Alabama comes in on a real high.
Hey, that's you guys. Yeah, they're really high.
I mean, there's a lot of buzz around Alabama right now, Josh.
Barry, I understand they've gotten in touch with the caterers to make sure they prepare a lot more food.
Yeah.
Kind of like pizza and Doritos and stuff.
Exactly right.
What I said is now that if Aiden Holloway isn't getting the team high before every game, maybe they can rebound and play defense. We make a little run.
Yeah. Number one, though, a lot of times we like to ask you things along this nature. What was he thinking, Josh?
Oh God! I mean, I have nothing. I mean, it almost wonders was it really just his personal size? Because does he need to sell it? I mean, I Googled it, 2 pounds, and that's 32 ounces, and the average, is like $300 an ounce.
Yeah.
So that's like $12,000. So with all the money he's getting paid in the NIL, what does he need to make $12,000 on it? I mean, it's so what is he doing with, if he's really selling it, what's he doing? If he's not selling it, what's he doing? Like either way, it's like what
claims he was using it for his personal use. That's a lot of weed from what I'm told. For personal use. One of my questions, Josh, is since he's been arrested and if convicted and all that, stuff, does he lose his NIL money?
It depends what's in the contract.
Yeah, I wonder if in the contract, if you break the law, if you embarrass the school, whatever it may be, I got to think there's some type of clause in there that, you can't act like an idiot. And if you do, you're going to forfeit your NIL money.
I mean, if there's he's going to probably lose his NIL money. If there's a clause in there, depending on, I imagine different per who you're getting the money from. But I'm sure there is some clause that says if you don't represent the brand correctly or get caught with way off sides, if you need better prices, I guess call him. Mine was based off of legal dispensary.
Yes, exactly. Certainly, absolutely. We all know that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
I love it. Yeah, man, you're getting ripped off. That's a good one, Jeff. Good pull there, buddy.
But there is no answer. I mean, he's probably going to lose his NIL money. It's not worth the amount of money that he was making. You don't need 2 pounds for your personal stash. You can take your opinions on whether people should be smoking pot or not, but you don't need 2 pounds regardless.
No kidding.
I mean, those gummies I bring back from DC where it's legal, they ain't in $300 an owl. Ooh, should I have said that? No, I've got them in another state that it is legal. I don't have them here in Alabama. Huh.
So, I'm not sure what his status will be or whether, the issues that Alabama has had heading into the tournament are chronic. But I do feel like this that maybe their strength is not dribble and pass, it's puff and pass.
Right.
I don't know.
They need to get it together. I mean, but we thrive on controversy. The last time we had all this mess going on, we went to the Final Four. So
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, good point.
It's like we thrive on this. It's all right. Last time we got booted from the first round of the first game that we played in the SEC tournament. We made it to the Final Four. That same year, that's not as funny to joke about all the stuff that happened that year.
Right.
But it's we made a run. So maybe you get the bad seed out of there and
and the stems too.
Yeah, you don't want any stems in there,
all right, I'm done. I'm stopping.
Those fatties that sit on the court side. Oh, wait a minute.
Fatties. No. I don't want to be blunt.
I didn't know we had so many references for weed.
I swear I don't know what I'm talking about.
We're on fire today. It's lit.
But what about
somebody needs to spark this team up.
It's too much smoke. What do you think about the draw, the way they come in? How far can they go, Josh?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're losing your. Between I would say Aiden Holloway is probably the third most important person on the team behind Aiden Sherrill and Phylon. You're losing a guy that really can make a big difference. So if Phylon doesn't stay hot every game, and you don't have that. You're depending on Reitzel to maybe get hot. We got a lot of players that can get going, but you're losing one of your best players for the entire tournament. So it's tough. And we really, if we're not going to play better defense and rebound, we can't afford to slip up on the offensive end. We've got to have a hot game every game if we're going to continue to win, unless Aiden Sherrill's going to get tired by the end of the tournament. I mean, because he's going to have to put in some real work if we're going to make it far, because he's our only rebounder and inside guy. I mean, there's no one else that can really compete like that. And a big man can make a huge difference, as we've seen over the years in the tournament, right? You got to get hot and you got to have a big man inside that's putting in work. And so,
and I don't want to rain on the parade, Josh, but I'm just trying to be realistic here from what I've seen out of this Alabama team all season long, and trying to think about that and then where I believe they can go in this tournament with or without Aiden Holloway. I don't see them beating Michigan. I don't see them getting past the Sweet 16. If they do that, it's a bonus. But just getting to the Sweet 16, I think is going to be, not the smoothest of roads. But once they get there and they face a team like Michigan with those bigs,
grown men bigs,
don't see it.
It's going to be. We're going to have to, once again, we can beat anybody. We get hot, and we can beat everybody. But you're missing that second guy.
Yeah.
So the odds of getting hot every single game without your second microwave out there, you're in trouble. I mean, it's tough. So our draw is as good. It's fine. It's as good as we have deserved. You know, I figured last week, since I went on such a Tide rant, I'd mix it up a little bit this week and looked into my team that I think could make.
Yeah, I was going to
runs.
Yeah,
which is the Troy Trojans. I really. So they're tough, and that will get you places in the NCAA tournament.
Yes,
right there. They are. That like hard work and toughness travels. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what gym you're in. And then if you look at Thomas Dowd, if that guy just doesn't look like the guy that gets hot in the NCAA tournament and helps make a run, I mean, they could make a little run out there. And Nebraska's not used to being in this position, so you get through the first game and you're rocking and rolling. I mean, I think they legitimately can make a pretty good run here.
I love that. I love that.
But what is the obviously this team won the Sun Belt back-to-back years, but what is the age of this Troy team? You hear about older, mature, senior-laden team, but what's the makeup of this Troy roster in terms of where they are?
I think that's a good thing to look at because Troy had a lot. They lost a lot of guys last year to the portal. Tatum Conaway went to Indiana. Jackson Fields went to West Virginia. Blah blah blah. But they have they retained so many guys. They only got one Division I transfer in because they wanted to keep the guys they've got. Dowd is a junior, 3-year junior. Theo Sang, who's the 6'9" player from California, he's a grad student that had missed the final 6 games, and he's back. He practiced yesterday. Victor Valdez is a junior. People who have been in the program, Kobe Campbell, Cooper Campbell, the 2 guards, they're both 2-year guys in the program. So they've been in the program for a while. They all know the culture. They all know the expectations. John, I think that's probably as big a strength as Troy has got is the continuity within the program that you don't see very much anymore in college basketball.
You really don't see it. I mean, and that's where the teams like the Daytons of the world, the Dayton, the Creighton, Butlers back in the day, right? Like that is where they made the runs because they weren't necessarily the most quote unquote talented team, but they'd all played together and they were tough. And that makes that's a scary 13 seed when you have to play against that.
Seeing what you've seen in the SEC tournament, particularly, and Arkansas wins it over Vanderbilt, and we got to see everybody in a compacted period of time. I'm not calling for a championship because we'll talk with you again, but well before the Final Four and everything, we'll get a little bit more updated then. But who right now would you suspect, regardless of where it ends, would be the SEC team that lasts the longest in the tournament?
I have a boring answer, and it's Florida. I mean, I think the fact that they lost in the tournament so early, I just think that's a really big positive for a team like that going into the tournament. They hadn't lost many big games. They haven't lost. They're not used to. They hadn't had much adversity. That people have been telling them they're the best, they're the best of the best. Yep. And this happens almost every year. You don't have a team like Arkansas that wins the SEC tournament and then just keeps going and going and going. It's
That's right.
You want to win the SEC tournament because you want to win, but it's for whatever reason it is, whether it's you're going in too big on a high, you didn't have as good of a rest or whatever it is. It just historically has not been good for those teams that have gone far and in tournament play, unless they're a Duke or a dominant team like that.
Josh, I did want to shift gears a little bit with you before we let you go, talk some spring football. Are you surprised that Ryan Grubb has already announced Jackson Lloyd as the starting left tackle, and they've only practiced 4 times in the spring?
That boy better be good, man.
He better be good.
He better be. Maybe he's just so confident, but yeah, I'm surprised, especially after the catastrophe we had on the offensive line last year. It's just he better be really good. So maybe it's a surprise, but maybe it's a good surprise. Maybe he's just so impressive. It's not a question of who's going to play over there. So
well, maybe there aren't any other. I don't know.
Come on, I was talking nice about Troy. Let's
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you who else besides Alabama would go in on a heater, but I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Well, Barry, I have found out since we've been interviewing Josh and talked about all of this involving Aiden Holloway, someone has told me they will not be selling Mary Janes at the concession stand in Tampa on Friday. So you won't be able to get a Mary Jane.
But you can get all the Cheetos you want, man.
Unless you get the Mary Jane that Rick James was singing about. That's a different type of Mary Jane. Yeah.
Josh, we look forward to talking with you again next week when we find out a little bit more about who the pretenders are, who looks good to you. We'll update all that one more time next week before we get into the Final Four. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. Hey to everybody in Rowan.
Hi, buddy. Thank you. Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician. Man, giving you some nuggets there today. Theotis on pins and needles, getting that information. We appreciate that. How did we miss Mary Jane when we were coming up with all those
we
phrases?
Can't come up with all of them. That's what I mean, you know. And somebody who has zero experience with any of that, I was kind of proud of myself for at least coming up with something just for fun. I don't condone that kind of stuff. Right, when we come back, we do condone the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It's next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Barry will be calling the Troy-Nebraska game in the NCAA tournament. Gurn Sr. going to pinch hit tomorrow. I will be at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, kicking the tournament out at Stivers on Montgomery, because I will be on location on Friday, as will
we'll still be in Oklahoma City, by gosh, on Friday.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm about to say you'll still be in OKC.
Oh, yeah, getting ready for Vanderbilt or McNeese.
Yeah, heck yeah. So we'll be doing that on Friday. All right, and tomorrow as well. Okay, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel has been warming up. Barry, I see 6 topics that we don't know what they consist of.
Yes, all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Bama Mush. Now, watch this. Check this. This is dog sledding.
Yep.
Jesse Holmes is a repeat champion at the Iditarod, which is the number one, the only one. Jesse Holmes, 1,000-mile race, his dogs in Nome, Alaska. That was yesterday. Why in the world anybody would live in Nome, Alaska is beyond me, because that's the way it is. Jesse Holmes is from Brushkana, Alaska, but he was raised in Alabama.
He sure was. Kind of like Ray Bowles' twin brother. He lives in Alaska,
too.
Yeah,
Ron lives in Alaska. He lives like in North Alaska. So you got a dude from Alabama who's like the world's greatest musher? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesse Holmes. And take a look at him. Oh, roll tide.
It's a little rough. But, man, the guy's a musher. Grew up in Alabama. Now he's in Alaska. Good for you.
How about that?
1,000 miles.
behind about 8 dogs.
The view never changes if you're the middle dog. That's
No,
what
it doesn't.
Lewis.
That smell doesn't change much either.
Well, hey, congratulations, Jesse Holmes.
Yeah.
Longshore and McKnight salute you.
You better believe it. All right, more to go on the wheel here. A multitude of colors here. A cavalcade of colors.
Oh, look at this. Is this? I know this dude.
I know him too.
What is he? Yeah. I know he's a great athlete and all that.
Sure.
But...
been a guest on the show many a time.
Oh, this is Cameron Boozer, who is young. They named the All-American team from the Associated Press.
Of course, is our state treasurer.
They had like 3 freshmen. Yeah, Cameron Boozer from Duke, A.J. Devansa from BYU, and Darius Acuff Jr. of Arkansas.
Good player.
Now, Yaxel Lendenborg of Michigan, who was the Big Ten Player of the Year in his only year at Michigan after spending his entire career at UAB. He got big money to go to Michigan, and he is worth it. J.T. Toppin of Texas Tech, first team. Tough stuff about J.T. Toppin because he's out for the year with an ACL. 3 of the 5 first-team AP All-Americans are freshmen, and they will not be here next year.
No.
Do we like that about college basketball? I don't particularly. There's no doubt they're the best players, but
Calipari mastered the one and done. Look out for Arkansas in the tournament too. I think they can make a run.
Acuff, like John's right. Acuff is no joke.
Yeah. He lighted up for like 50 against Alabama and Tuscaloosa. Unbelievable.
He had a bunch. Yeah, they could not do a thing about him. Okay, that's a good one. Young Boozer, you had me throwing. That's a great guy.
Sure is. Awesome. Been a guest on the program many a time.
I love him. Good.
All right. 4 more to go. Red, yellow, blue, and green. And it's going to end on yellow.
Waddled away. A little surprised here. Miami is getting rid of everybody.
Yeah, they are.
Jalen Waddle goes to Denver. Denver, their wide receiver room just got better. All they had to do was give up some picks and some pretty good picks. Meanwhile, the Dolphins get rid of another guy. They're getting rid of so much salary. They're tearing the entire franchise down to start from the bottom. They got a jillion draft picks, John. They've got a bunch of cap money that they can do, that they can use. But, no more Tua, no more Tyreek Hill, no more Jalen Waddle. They may be brutal next year, but hopefully there's a method there, man.
A trade you might have missed. Foster Moreau of the New Orleans Saints. I know his dad. We talked about it a couple of months ago. Saw his dad in Montgomery and then saw him the next week at the Saints game against the Jets.
Right.
Foster got traded to the Texans. Wow. Man.
That's a lifeline, to be honest. Yeah. He's like pulling on that lifeline and getting rescued. Thank gosh, I was about to get stuck in that quicksand.
Yeah.
Thank you for handing me that branch.
Yesterday, I found out.
Yeah.
So,
he's a good player, by the way.
Yeah. Played at LSU.
Yes, he did. Good player.
He was with the Raiders, then the Saints, now he's with the Texans.
Yep.
So good for him. All right. Couple more to go. Let's do it. I think we can get them in. Spin away. Let's see what we get. It's going to be, sticky split.
Spill. No, spill. This is like when you spill your Coke.
Sticky spill. What happened here?
Syrup closes California in nearly 9 hours. Gallons of spilled syrup. Truck overturned Monday in the westbound lane. Fontana, hundreds of gallons of syrup.
Is this Mrs. Butterworth? What do we got here? Log cabin?
Aunt Jemima. Can we? Is there even Aunt Jemima? Is she a thing anymore?
Ooh, look at that.
Aunt Jemima looks like Condoleezza Rice.
She does. Yeah, they've modernized her. Barry, I think that was some really thin-looking syrup. That didn't look thick. I don't know if I want that on my pancakes.
No, I mean, it's been out in the sun for a while now.
Ugh.
How do you clean that up?
It's tough. I think you can use OxyClean or Bullshot or whatever that stuff is they're hawking on TV.
You're going to have, Vince would do that. Yeah,
Vince would get that up. Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt. You slap your troubles away.
Yeah.
2 more to go. Let's see what we got here. Man, I miss Vince. Man, what a guy. What a
He was great. The slap chop.
And the headset that didn't even work.
Good news? No,
okay.
It's like good news?
Wow.
Meaning Gurn thinks it's... Is this
what do we got here?
The Raiders, who, again, they tried to trade Max Crosby to the Ravens, but I think Tom Brady may have blocked that or something like that.
Yeah.
The most of all the scenarios out there for Max Crosby this season, the most likely is his remaining and playing with the Las Vegas Raiders. He was traded for the Ravens for 2 first-round picks, failed his physical, offseason knee surgery. So they're going to get maybe Crosby back. Fernando Mendoza as a quarterback. I hope they don't throw too much on Mendoza early and ruin him.
Yeah. Give the kid a break.
I think they've turned a corner, John, but I got to see a little bit more, to be honest.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
All right,
one more to go. Let's see what we got. It is the last topic in today's Victoryland 777 topic. Will we do have to spin it to make it official?
In 45 minutes from right now, we'll be right in the middle of the media contingent for the big press conferences at the NCAA tournament. Sore knee.
Picks.
Oh, the big ant, Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves. Knee inflammation.
Yeah, sure.
He's been trying to play hurt, unlike virtually every other big-time NBA star.
Mm-hmm. Barry,
hangnail.
The NBA playoffs starting in what, about a month?
Yeah,
they're getting ready for that. So is the Phantom. The Phantom.
Of course, I'm here in Oklahoma City, where last night they played on the road at Orlando, and Oklahoma City ended up winning it yesterday. Troy's got a player whose cousin is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His name is Javier Gilgeous-Glasgow. For Troy. So they clinched the playoff spot. The Oklahoma City Thunder here in Oklahoma City, first team in the NBA to actually clinch a spot. So we're getting to that point of the year, John.
Defending champs.
Yes.
All right, so Barry's in Oklahoma City. You just heard he's heading over to the media day for Troy in Nebraska, which will tip tomorrow. So tomorrow at 11:15. So Barry will not be with us tomorrow, but we'll have him back on Friday as normal to talk about the big Troy win.
Hopefully be back here in Oklahoma City on Friday. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.